Hello everyone and welcome back to Genie Crafts. In today's video, we are going to see how we can approach a paper cut portrait for a baby or for a small kid. This was a commissioned portrait that I recently did for a client and I had lots of fun making this baby portrait. So guys, let's get started on the process. The first step is to generate the template for the photograph that you have been provided with. For that, open the website Free Picture Stencil Maker and upload the photograph for which you want to create the stencil. Now when it comes to baby portraits, you can choose photographs in which there is less design on the dress, or you can choose a photograph on which there is more design on the dress. But normally on the face of a baby the features are less, so it's good to use a photograph for which there are a lot of features on the dress that the baby is wearing, and it makes the portrait much more beautiful at the end. Using the darkness and the sharpness sliders, adjust your stencil until you are happy with it, and once you are happy with the stencil, then you can download that picture and take a printout of it. So guys, here is the printout of the stencil that I just created. As you can see that there is a lot of background. Also, I have added the name of the child on the request from the client. So the background that you see behind the baby, I'm just going to ignore all that. I'm only going to focus on the baby, and then I'm going to cut out rest of the background without working on the background. The reason I'm doing this is because when I'll just cut out the baby and put it against a transparent frame or against a slightly darker background, this is going to look beautiful. Also, normally you have seen me directly cutting on the paper on which I have taken the printout, but for this particular portrait, initially I did not decide whether I'm going to host it in a transparent frame or I'm going to host it in some kind of shadow frame or a regular frame. So I decided that I will put another paper underneath it and then I will proceed with the paper cutting. But before I can start the paper cutting, I need to prep my stencil a little bit. What I mean is that I have taken a decision to remove all the black areas in the entire portrait and keep all the white areas, including the face, the dress, the hand, the legs, everything. So if I have to keep the white area, then all the white areas should be interconnected. Otherwise, what will happen is when I'll start cutting, some of the white areas, big chunks might just come out. So for that, using a white gel pen, I'm connecting all the white areas, ensuring that when I start cutting the black areas, no big chunks of white areas come out unnecessarily. So that is the first step, and you need to complete this prep step before you start with the actual paper cutting. So for this paper cutting, I utilized a regular A11 blade paper cutting knife, and I decided to start with the dress of the child. The design on the dress, that is what I cut first. You can see that there are a lot of spirals on the design on the dress, and when it comes to paper cutting, spirals are one of the most difficult designs to cut on any paper, mostly because a lot of times you just tear off the paper. So be very careful when you are cutting it. Small tip to cut spirals is that you start from inside out rather than going outside in. That way you reduce the chance of damaging the paper cut that you are doing. So first I started with the dress, then I moved towards the other part of the portrait. So that I think this dress part is what took me the longest amount of time. Almost, if I have to say, it took me 4.5 hours just to cut this dress. After that it was fairly simple because there were not much to cut on rest of the portrait. So put your focus on that part of the portrait which is going to make it look beautiful, and do not rush that part of the portrait. So I devoted my entire energy on cutting the design on the dress. While the design on the shirt that the baby is wearing was a little bit complicated, luckily I was able to avoid any kind of tears or any kind of break in the paper cut throughout the entire design. So if you do the paper cutting carefully without any rush, it's quite easy to maintain the integrity of the entire paper cut, and that is what you should aim for when you are doing any portrait paper cutting, because the entire charm of a portrait paper cut is just by using one color, that is white color, how you can create a portrait out of it using a single connected piece of paper. Next, I focused on the hair because normally for a child, the hair is always here and there all over the place, unlike adults where the hair is more in a settled pattern. And since there was a lot of background design and there was a lot of background noise in the stencil, so what I did was that I kept the original photograph in front of me open on a laptop for a reference. And it is always a good practice if in case your stencil is a little bit muddled because of the background. So always keep a photograph open in front of you so that you can take a reference and do not make a mistake while paper cutting. So I kept looking at the photograph, comparing what I had on the stencil, and then I made the cuts on the hair. Last major point of focus was the face and the neck area. Neck area was fairly straightforward. I had already taken care of interconnectivity of the white spaces, so that was not an issue. And once that was done, then I started working on the face. So normally when I work on the face, I always start with the lips, then I do the nose, and then I do the eyes and the eyebrows. When I'm doing the eyes, I am a little bit more careful because I have already done my entire portrait, and if the eye gets messed up, you have to redo the entire portrait, because the moment there is an error in cutting the eye, the portrait just looks like someone else, not the actual photograph it is supposed to look like. So be very careful when you're cutting the eye area and try to capture as much detail as possible. Even if there is a small dot near the eye area, you cut that black dot also. Do not leave it just because it is a small minuscule dot and nobody is going to know about that dot. The more details you capture on the face, the better the face looks once the final portrait paper cut is done. And that is true for rest of the portrait also, but it is mostly important for the face area because on a baby face there are not many features, and whatever features you can capture through the stencil, the more the better. Once the required cut on the portrait was done, I turned my focus towards the name that I had taken print at the bottom. Ensure that all the letters are connected because otherwise the alignment might differ here and there. So I know that I have never made a video on cutting letters and quotes and these kind of things, and it's on my to-do list. But just a quick tip: whenever you are cutting logos or names or letters, especially letters, always cut out the enclosed spaces first. For example, inside the letter D there is an enclosed space, similarly in letter A, letter E. So always cut out those enclosed spaces and then cut out rest of the borders around the letters. Once you are done cutting out any name, carefully remove the cutout because letter cutouts are very fragile and chances of them breaking are very quick. So in case of any undercut, recut it and then remove the letters carefully, and I kept it aside later on for assembly on the photo frame. The last part in the cutout was cutting out the border. So the way I decided to frame this photograph was that I would not have any outside borders or frame border in this entire portrait. Only the child would be there attached to a bottom base, and then the name would be displayed on the right hand side of the frame at the bottom. So since the background was quite muddled, so once again I kept the photograph in front of me. I also had previously drawn the border with the help of the pencil so that I exactly knew where to cut. So these kind of small prep works are always good for achieving a high quality portrait paper cut. So carefully cut the border and then remove rest of the unnecessary paper from around the portrait. And this is how the portrait cut turned out along with the name on the right hand side. And now we will proceed towards the framing of the portrait, and I have decided to give it a slight 3D effect during the framing process. For framing I used a regular A4 size glass frame, and to create the 3D effect it was necessary to press the portrait cutout against the glass and then create some gap between the glass and the background. So to press the portrait cut against the glass, what I did was that I put my portrait on a acetate sheet, which is a transparent sheet, and I attached the portrait to the acetate sheet with the help of small glue dots at few places so that the portrait does not move against the glass frame. Once that was done, I placed the acetate sheet against the glass, and the next step was to create a gap between the background paper and the glass, and for that I utilized these sunboard sheets which were 3 mm thick. So I created a frame using thin strips of sunboard sheet, along the frame of this photo frame. And once that was done, I used a dark gray background paper as a background and put it against those sunboard sheets, and a slight gap was created between the portrait and the background paper, and then I closed the frame at the back side. And that is the final result of the framing process. There is a slight 3D effect which I'm not sure if you are able to see it in the video or not, but it was present there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you guys liked the video, then please do not forget to hit the like button and share this video with your friends. Also do subscribe to my channel for regular videos on paper arts, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Till then, stay safe, take care, and bye bye.